It may be windy and rainy outside, but we're heading indoors to the Evergreen Aviation and Space Museum here in McMinnville, Oregon to check out the largest wooden airplane ever built. I wish plane seats still looked like this in the classes that we can actually afford to fly. I mean, look at the width of these things, two armrests in the middle. The Curtiss Model D dates from around 1911 and is an early example of a pusher aircraft where the propeller and engine are behind the pilot, and a replica of the 1903 Wright Flyer. The Wright Flyer, of course, was the first successful powered flight with Orville at the controls back in 1903. Another replica, the 1927 Spirit of St. Louis. This is a replica of the plane that Charles Lindbergh used to complete the first solo non-stop transatlantic flight in 1927. Interesting note on this, no front windshield. If he needed to see out the front, he actually had to yaw the plane and look out the side. And the Sopwith Camel. Somewhat notable that, from the Peanuts cartoons, when Snoopy would sit on his doghouse and pretend to have dogfights with the Red Baron, he always was pretending he was in a Sopwith Camel. Back in the opening, I said we were here to check out the largest wooden aircraft ever built, and here it is, the Hughes H-4 Hercules, more commonly known as the Spruce Goose. Designed and built by the Hughes Aircraft Company as a transatlantic transport for World War II. What we're looking at here is a model that was actually used in the film The Aviator. The Aviator gives you a Hollywoodized version of the life of Howard Hughes, who was the founder of the Hughes Aircraft Corporation in 1932. The Spruce Goose, which incidentally is made almost entirely of birch, held the record for the largest wingspan of any aircraft ever flown right up until April 13th, 2019. It's really hard to present a sense of scale from a video. You really need to stand here to feel the size of this thing. But in terms of raw numbers, that wingspan is 320 feet 11 inches, or just about 97.5 meters. So we've looked at the outside from all different angles. Now it's time to head inside and check it out. You note the beach balls? Well, those were stuffed in the back of the hull and under the wing floats as a way of displacing water should there be a wet landing. It was designed to keep the Spruce Goose afloat. With your standard museum admission, you can't get inside very far, but for an extra $29.95, you can get on a tour with up to 4 people and go behind the scenes and into the actual cockpit. And naturally, we had to take that opportunity to do so.
Very dangerous. So they put in this monitoring station right here. Whoever was sitting here was looking for fire and smoke and flames coming out of the cabin. This is a bucket list item.
Yeah, for sure.
No doubt.
Right here. I can get you to move over there. Absolutely right. His name was Glenn Odeker.
Check this out. This is the view when you poke your head up through the little window above the pilot seat.
Wow.
I didn't shoot a ton of video on the cockpit tour. I figure the museum's using that money to maintain the Spruce Goose, so it only seemed fair that I leave some of that as a bit of a mystery for you so that you feel the urge to do it yourself if you get the opportunity. It's totally worth it. So, to kind of wrap the history of the Spruce Goose in terms of its actual flight, it was November the 2nd, 1947, with Howard Hughes sitting in the pilot's seat. He had done a few taxiing tests and things and then decided he was actually going to take this sucker off the ground. The flight only lasted 26 seconds. He was only 70 feet or 21 meters above the water, but he flew at 135 miles per hour for about 1 mile before landing. The plane never flew again. So I only showed you a bit of the aviation side, and I didn't even touch on the space side of the museum, which is just as large and just as well done. Frankly, the battery on my phone died, so I didn't get to record much footage beyond this. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video. It's a little shorter than normal, but that's okay. If you like the content we're doing, please subscribe, please comment. Appreciate it a lot. Thanks for watching. We'll see you soon. Maximum speed of 40 miles per hour. Not much different from the Jeeps of today. So I like the artwork, but this is what really caught my eye. Break window to get crowbar. Okay. Wouldn't it be easier to break the window if I already had a crowbar?